So I'm Christine. I have joined the Religious of the Sanicle since 2012, and I left Singapore 12 years ago for Manila. I'm 47 this year, last year. So the first encounter in the Sanicle was kind of like an accidental one. I was actually in a very bad state in my spiritual life, or actually in my life, and I needed some form of getaway. So this friend who, just looked into the Catholic news, Singapore Catholic news, and found the Sanicle sisters hosting a silent retreat. And for someone who had been to so many retreats in my life, I thought to myself, come on, silent retreat. What can happen to me in silence? Anyway, I was in the dire straits, so I said, okay, let's go try. And it was in that 5 days retreat in Chiang Mai, quieting the soul, that I experienced God in a very profound way. I have never met God in that sense face to face. And that was where I realized that, wow, I do have, and I am able to have a very personal and intimate relationship with my God without any external mediation. Well, it's really the growth element for me. I grew so much and I've learned so much about myself that I know in any other way, even if I take a formal education paper, I will not be able to experience accompaniment. I will not be able to experience the one-on-one, intimate, heart-to-heart sharing with someone, and to have someone to accompany me in the journey. I think the first thing that I can think of being the biggest joy in my life, joining the Sanicle, is really the at-homeness with this congregation. The whole experience of coming home, the whole sense of homeness in this place where I know my sisters will receive me for who I am, without judgment and with full acceptance. And in fact, it is in the Sanicle that I learned that I can be honest with my feelings. I do not have to hide them. I do not have to put on a mask, but I can be vulnerable to my sisters and share with them what is truly in my heart. And in that sense, I have come to discover more about myself, and own who I really am. And in the process, I think the Sanicle sisters really mirrored to me the love of God. How I felt really the identity as a beloved. How should a beloved ought to feel? Yeah, I think for many years we have been reflecting on this. Is the Sanicle still relevant to the world today? And particularly in the context of Singapore, I feel that, we are still very much called to be the instrument of God, to be the ambassador of love, to allow others to simply be who they are, so that they may also come to experience the same joy that I felt. Yeah, I think in Singapore we have been very blessed with a very good education system and very well-planned infrastructures to care for our physical side, physical self, and even our mental, even our, career. But what could have really been an area that we need to focus on is really the education of the heart, where we come to receive ourselves, truly who we are. Of course, we may not have the same safe space as that in the Sanicle, as how I felt in the Sanicle. But hopefully the Sanicle can provide that safe space, can create that safe space for others to be truly who they are, and thereby find their own identity in the midst. Maybe I will answer the question with a question. Are you free? I think guided by the spiritual exercises of St. Ignatius of Loyola, this aspect of interior freedom is very important to me. Because it is only in that interior freedom that one can choose to love. Without that, we don't really have a choice, do we? Well, vocation to begin with is, for me, falling in love with God. Falling in love with God every day. The relationship with God is seen in every aspect of our relationship. With a plant, with the way we cook, with my sisters, with my community, with the people, with strangers, or even with pets. And it is only in that experience of love that one automatically or naturally faces some kind of fear. And I think it's only natural for any human person to feel that fear. And again, coming back to where I said earlier on, to recognize that fear, in a safe space so that I can listen a little bit more about my unfreedom or perhaps my attachments, and then make that choice. What choice will bring me closer to God? Having said all things are good, there must be an option that I can choose that will definitely draw me closer to God then, in greater intensity perhaps.